Hey everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel, and also welcome to day 5 of our 10-day at-home yoga challenge. I am so happy that you are here. In today's practice, we explore standing yoga postures. Feel free to bring along with you a yoga block to today's practice. All right, let's get started. Let's make our way to the top edge of our mat. When you get there, place your feet so that way they're roughly hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. Let's find ways to lift and lengthen through our spine by rocking that pelvis forward, looping our shoulders, and tucking in our chin slightly. Allow your hands to fall to your sides, palms forward. This can really help roll the shoulders back and create a nice opening in our heart space. Feel free to close your eyes or maintain a soft gaze in our mountain pose. Let's breathe in through the nose, and then breathe out through the nose or the mouth. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. All right, now I invite you to turn your attention to your feet. Notice where most of the weight is being placed in your feet. Is it at the tops of the feet, the heels, the edges, or perhaps even the inner arches? Just simply notice without passing any judgment. And now I invite you to really root down and press on into all 4 corners of the feet to really feel that connection to the earth, including our toes. For today's practice, it is super important to establish the strong foundation, our base, as we move through various postures. And another key thing that we want to consider as we move here today is our affirmation. So our affirmation for today's practice is, I am strong. So some of the movements and the postures that we explore today may challenge us. So therefore, I encourage you to repeat this affirmation, I am strong, at any point throughout our practice, to encourage you, to help you dig in a little bit deeper. Let's breathe in through our nose and then empty it out through the mouth. All right, you can open up your eyes if you had them closed. On our next breath in, we send our hands up and towards the sky, and then exhale, open twist to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward. You can imagine that you're about to give someone a big hug. Breathe in, hands go up and overhead, and then exhale, open twist to our left. Right arm forward this time. Breathe in, hands go up and overhead, and then exhale, hands float back down to our sides. All right, so for this next posture, you can either keep your feet exactly where they are, hip distance apart, or you can bring the feet a little bit closer towards one another, bringing the legs closer to one another, kind of like a zipper. We're zipping on up. All right, so we are going to imagine as if we are sitting back into an imaginary chair. All right, so let's begin to sit back, bending at our knees, hinging forward at the hips. Most of the weight will be placed in our hips as well as in our heels. And we can test that out by lifting our toes away from the earth. Our knees are tracing over top of our feet. We're still creating some length in our back body. And then on our next breath in, we send our hands out in front of us, palms facing towards one another, biceps towards the ears. So here we are in chair pose, definitely a strength building posture. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we rise on up. All right, so we are going to explore chair pose one more time. All right, let's reset and let's do it. Sitting back into our chair, sending the arms out in front of us. Perhaps you use the breath as a tool to help you dig in a little bit deeper into this pose. Again, you can repeat that affirmation, I am strong. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we rise on up. All right. Walk your feet so that way they're once again underneath the hips if they're not already there. And then let's step our right foot back towards the back edge of our mat. Our toes will be facing towards the corner of the room. Our heel is turned out slightly, and the back leg is nice and straight. Let's begin to bend on into that front leg, stacking our knee over top of the ankle. Wonderful work. Hands come to the waistline. We rock that pelvis forward, loop our shoulders, and tuck in our chin slightly. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we open on up into a warrior two. So we're sending our left arm forward, right arm back, and we're looking past those left fingertips. So warrior two is definitely a strength building posture, a power posture. So we're going to use our breath as a tool to help us dig in deeper. We can use that affirmation, to encourage us, to support us through our practice here together. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, lower your left arm to your left thigh. And then on your next breath, then we send our right hand up and towards the sky. Perhaps you even look on up, open on up through the chest. And then exhale, reaching your right hand over towards the left side of your mat. Here we are in an extended side angle, breathing some love into our rib cage. Keeping that breath flowing, you got this. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we rise on up, straighten through your front leg, and then turn your left toes in. So that way now they're facing the corner of a mat. And same with your right toes. So both toes are going to be facing towards the corners of your mat. Send your arms from left to right, palms face down. Draw your hands back in space. Getting a nice opening in the chest. Here we are in star pose. Let's breathe in through the nose. And then empty it out through the mouth. All right, now let's flip our palms towards the sky and then back down towards the earth. So let's keep this action going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Now the arms may be getting a little bit tired. You may want to lower them, but we're going to keep on going. After all, we are strong. We got this. All right, now let's take some arm circles. So going forward with the arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to our star pose. Maybe just smile a little bit here. Breathe on in. And then out. Wonderful. You can release your hands to your waistline. So we're going to turn our toes in. So that way now they're facing forward. So no longer the corners of our mat. Hands are on our waistline. Let's rock that pelvis forward once again. And now we're going to begin to hinge forward at our hips. So our bum is going back in space. You may have to adjust your stance a little bit. And then eventually we reach a point in which we want to lower our hands down to the earth just to support us in this flat back position. So you can also find a nice small micro bend in those knees as well, so that way we're not locking up in the knees. And one key tendency that I notice that I have whenever I'm in a standing wide-legged forward fold is that I typically dump a lot of the weight in the tops of my feet. So just as we did at the very beginning of the practice, we're going to be pressing on into all four corners of our feet, the whole foot, especially that outer edge, to really keep us rooted here. All right, breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we begin to lower the crown of our head towards the earth. And then we can slide our hands in, so that way they're roughly in line with the arches of our feet. Elbows back. And if you would like some support for your head, feel free to use a yoga block. And you can place it right underneath your head. This can lift the earth up to meet us, creating some more support and ease in the posture. We're keeping the breath flowing here. Again, kind reminder just to keep a small bend in those knees. This is actually one of my go-to postures whenever I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed. I find that any kind of inversion is really helpful for that matter. One more breath cycle here. Let's breathe in together. And then breathe out. All right, you can remove your yoga block, placing it off to the side, and then walk your hands forward, coming back to that flat back position. Breathe in and out. Wonderful. Now bring your hands to your waistline. And now let's rock that pelvis forward to help us rise up. All right, so turn your right foot so that way now it's facing what was formerly the back edge of the mat, the top edge. And then we're going to turn our left toes in slightly to face the corner of a room. Let's now bend on into that front leg, stacking the knee on top of the ankle. Hands are still on our waistline. And right here, we're finding ways to grow nice and tall through the spine by aligning our head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. You got this. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we open on up into a warrior two. So our right arm is forward, left arm back. And we're looking past those right fingertips. So if you find that the shoulders are kind of creeping on up towards the ears, let's just loop our shoulders, creating some space here. Keeping that breath flowing. Feel free to use that affirmation at any time. I am strong. We are definitely building strength and flexibility in the body today, in the whole body. It may feel like a lot of work's being done in the low body, but the core is also getting in there. Our arms are getting a little bit of a workout into. You got this. All right, breathe in. And then on our next breath out, release your right arm to your right thigh. Breathe in here and out. And then on our next breath in, let's send our left hand on up towards the sky. You can look on up as well. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, reaching on over towards the right side, finding our extended side angle. You got this. You can roll that shoulder back. Really creating a nice opening in our heart space. Breathe in. And then on our next breath out, we rise on up straight in through that front leg, turning those right toes in. And now we're going to heel toe, the feet back together. I know, extremely fancy yoga term, huh? All right. And then when we get there, our feet are nice and flush together. We bring our hands to heart in prayer position and bow the head, dropping the chin towards the chest. I invite you to close your eyes or maintain a soft gaze. So my darling friends, I invite you to once again consider that affirmation, I am strong. Perhaps you think about what qualities come to mind when you think of the word strength. I personally believe that each and every single one of us is strong. We demonstrated strength by just showing up today for our practice. Sometimes it can be pretty tricky to just roll out that mat, especially when we have other things going on in our lives. But you took some time for you, for some self-care. And that to me is an example of strength. So maybe just consider your understanding. And it can be very different from mine, and that's okay. Each of our journeys, each of our experiences will be unique to each and every single one of us. All right, let's take the deepest breath that we've taken in all day through the nose, and then empty it out through the mouth. All right, you can open up your eyes if you had them closed. Thank you so very much for joining me here today. I appreciate you and all the hard work that you do. I cannot wait to see you for day number 6 tomorrow. It's gonna be another good one. Take care and namaste.